Hey guys, so welcome to day 5 of me speaking about my authentic self or what's on my mind in an effort to kind of find my life value and life calling. I thought about the question today and I didn't have an answer that came up, but this has been on my mind to share with you guys for a while. And it's kind of my philosophy for how to get paid more at your job. Now, if you guys are working a retail job or you're working for I guess a bigger corporate structure where you probably won't get promoted for a while until someone dies. I suggest finding a company a little bit more medium sized, so that way as a company grows, you can grow. And then it's cool to work for a startup or a smaller company, but a lot of times those companies don't really make it that far, so you might be out of a job. So anyway, assuming you're in a medium sized company, I would suggest, these are kind of my philosophies. I took my philosophies from being an athlete into being corporate. And so the main 3 things are to, number 1, figure out how to do your job perfectly. Number 2, speed it up, do it faster. And then 3, always ask, what more can I do? And so first things first is you got to handle your job properly, whether you're just handling transactions or you're just punching things into from data into whatever. Make sure you're doing it properly. So this goes whether you're entry level, or even if you're an intern, just make sure you do your job properly. So at least people know you're reliable for the amount you put out. Then the second thing is to make sure to try and do it faster. So if I do everything perfectly and person A does everything perfectly as well, but I'm faster, I'm more valuable to the company than the other person. And so you want to try and do everything perfectly, do it as fast as you can. And then the third thing is always ask, what more can I do? So in my scenario, I got caught a lot of times where I would be working faster than my coworkers, and then I would ask either people around me, what else can I help with, or I'd ask the boss, is there anything else I can help with? So 1, that looks good for the boss. Number 2, it also allows you to see further into the system. And the more of the system you can affect, the more of the system you can help out, the more valuable you are to the company, the more they're gonna be willing to pay you. Now, a lot of people are saying, like, why would I do that though? Because if the company is only going to pay me this much, I'm only going to give this much effort. But in life, that's not how it works. If you want to earn more, you have to be more valuable to the company eventually, and then eventually the pay will come. If your only attitude is I'm only going to pay me, or I'm only going to do as much as they pay me, then you're probably not going to get too much of a pay raise. Using this kind of philosophy, I started working in 2020 as a temp, as an accountant, as a temp. And by 2022, I had tripled my income. And there was nothing more than just making sure I do my job, make sure I do my job faster than anyone else around me can, or if they're faster, then I do the same thing in Taekwondo. I learn what they're doing, figure out how to do it, and then see if I can even improve upon it. And then what really boosted my income was learning on the transactional side, how the data comes in. If there's any way to make that side faster, what I ended up having to learn was I increased my skill set. I learned SQL, so that way I can pull data right out of the system without having to ask someone else or wait for a report from someone else. So the turnaround time, instead of waiting a day for reports, is I can have it at my fingertips at an instant by learning SQL. Then on the other end, I'd worked with a friend and he had shown me how financial banks set up their reports so we know exactly how the numbers look, how the end user can look at it and know exactly where the numbers are coming from. And I started implementing that into my reports as well. So I'm speeding up not only my area of the process where I'm supposed to be generating reports, but I'm speeding up the area where I'm gathering the data, and I'm speeding up the area where I'm giving my reports to my seniors. And so the more you can help the system along, be more efficient and be more helpful throughout, the better it is for you. And this is a philosophy I learned from my dad, was to always do more than you're paid for. And eventually the pay will come. So some of you guys may disagree. This is just my strategies for how I did what I did. And that's day 5. See you guys for day 6.